When James saw his wife Emily disappear from the club with the famous basketball player Zach Crawford, his world fell apart. His friends laughed, calling him a fool, but James took off his wedding ring and decided to take his life into his own hands. He moved into a honeymoon suite, met the charming Alice, and spent an unforgettable weekend in the Bahamas. When he returned, he shocked everyone by remodeling the house into a duplex to separate himself from Emily but protect the children. Will Aiden and Sophie find out the truth about their mother's betrayal? Will Emily be able to win James back, or will he find new happiness with Alice? Find out how one night of betrayal led to dramatic changes and why honesty became the key to freedom. This story of pain, revenge, and triumph will make you rethink trust and love. Watch to the end to see the shocking ending that will change everything. I, James Clark, a 42-year-old architect from Seattle, sat in the neon-lit Neon Pulse Club, my heart sinking. My wife, Emily, 40, swayed on the dance floor in her stunning blue dress, catching every eye. I'd always been proud of her until Zach Crawford, the famous basketball star, approached her. Their dance grew closer, too close. My friends, Tim and Sarah, exchanged glances, their smirks barely hidden. An hour later, Emily slipped out the back door with Zach. My world shattered. "You okay, James?" Tim asked, his tone mocking. I leaned back in my chair, my gaze drifting to a booth across the dance floor where 4 young women laughed. Why hadn't Zach chosen one of them? Anger and humiliation surged through me. Why my wife? We'd planned a future together, vacations, quiet nights once our kids, Aiden and Sophie, were grown. Now, those dreams felt like a cruel joke. Emily's plans clearly didn't include me anymore. I laughed, a loud, bitter sound that turned heads. Tears streamed down my face, not from sadness but from a sudden clarity. My life had just changed forever. I wasn't going to be the fool they expected. I slid my wedding ring off and tossed it to Tim. "Give this to Emily when you see her," I said, throwing a $10 bill on the table. "Pay for her drink, since you're so supportive of her cheating." Tim's jaw dropped. Sarah called after me, but I ignored them and stormed out of the club. My mind raced. Emily had chosen Zach over me, over our family. I wasn't going to beg her back. I was done. At the hotel, I approached the front desk. The young clerk, Ella, raised an eyebrow. "Any suites available?" I asked. "No standard suites, but the honeymoon suite is free," she replied, listing its amenities, jacuzzi, balcony, city views. "I'll take it," I said. "And I'll pay for my old room too. Emily can stay there. One more thing, don't tell her I'm still in the hotel." Ella's eyes sparkled with understanding. "I'll make sure the staff knows." I grabbed my clothes from the old room, leaving Emily's in the trash. The honeymoon suite was massive, with a jacuzzi overlooking Seattle's skyline. I put on my best suit, stopped at an ATM for cash, and headed back to the club. The line was long, but a $100 tip to the bouncer got me in. My friends were still at their table, but I ignored them and scanned the room. The booth with the 4 women caught my eye. No men with them, perfect. I strolled over, flashing a smile. Why are 4 beautiful women sitting alone? A brunette, Kate, laughed. Our friend Alice just got dumped. We're cheering her up. Alice, a 24-year-old nursing student with fiery red hair, smiled shyly. "Care to dance?" I asked. She nodded, taking my hand. On the dance floor, we moved to a slow song. Her warmth eased my anger. "You married, James?" she asked. "Not anymore," I said. "My wife left with Zach Crawford tonight." Alice squeezed my hand. "I'm sorry. You deserve better." Her words hit hard. As we danced closer, I felt something I hadn't in years: hope. Maybe this was my chance to start over. I woke up in the honeymoon suite, the Seattle skyline glowing through the window. Alice's laughter from last night echoed in my mind. For the first time in years, I felt free. Emily's betrayal had shattered our life, but I wasn't going to beg her to come back. I had a plan. I called Alice. "How about a weekend getaway? Bahamas, Thursday to Tuesday. Just you and me." "Seriously?" Her voice lit up. "I'm in." I booked first-class tickets and a 5-star resort. Expensive, but I didn't care. If Emily wanted to throw away our marriage, I'd spend our savings on me. I transferred our joint account to one in my name and rerouted my paycheck. Emily wouldn't control my future anymore. Back at the club that night, I found Alice and her friend Kate at the same booth. My old friends, Tim and Sarah, stared as I walked past. I ignored them and joined Alice. "Miss me?" I grinned. Alice laughed, pulling me to the dance floor. "You're trouble, James." We danced, her warmth chasing away the sting of Emily's betrayal. Kate joined us, teasing, "You two look cozy already." Over drinks, Alice asked, "What's next for you?" "I'm done being the guy who waits," I said. Emily made her choice. "I'm making mine." Kate raised her glass. "To new beginnings." The next morning, I called my boss and took 2 weeks off. I rented a truck and bought supplies, lumber, drywall, paint, 2 front doors. I was turning our house into a duplex. One side for me, one for Emily. Our kids, Aiden and Sophie, deserved stability, but I wouldn't live under her shadow. I started with the front entrance, tearing out the old door and framing 2 new ones. The house split down the middle, my side with a new kitchen, Emily's with the old one. I turned the office into a 3rd bedroom for my side, the dining room for hers. I changed the garage locks and split the backyard with a fence. By Wednesday, the duplex was taking shape, rough but functional. I called Alice. "Still thinking about you," I said. "You're sweet," she replied. "Bahamas still on?" "Packed and ready," I said. "Bring your passport." Thursday morning, I locked my side of the house and sat on the porch, waiting for Emily to bring Aiden and Sophie home. When their car pulled up, they froze, staring at the 2 front doors. "Dad, what's this?" Sophie asked, eyes wide. "A duplex," I said. "One side's mine, one's your mom's. You can stay on either whenever you want." Emily's face paled. "James, we need to talk." "Not now," I cut her off. "Kids, let's check out your new rooms." I showed Aiden and Sophie their bedrooms on my side, promising a pool and hot tub. They grinned, but their eyes flicked to Emily, who stood silently. At lunch, Sophie asked, "Dad, why'd you do this?" "Your mom wanted a change," I said, glancing at Emily. "I'm just making it official." Emily's eyes dropped to her plate. "It's a misunderstanding," she mumbled. "Really?" I said, my voice calm but sharp. "You made your intentions clear when you left with Zach." She flinched but said nothing. Aiden and Sophie exchanged looks, sensing the truth. "Kids, I'm heading out of town for a few days," I said. "I'll call you every night." I kissed their heads and left without a word to Emily. At the airport, Alice was waiting, her red hair catching the light. "Ready for an adventure?" she asked, smiling. "More than ever," I said. We boarded the plane, first-class seats, champagne in hand. As we took off, I felt the weight of Emily's betrayal lift. The Bahamas stretched ahead, sun, sand, and a chance to rebuild. But what would happen when I returned? Would Emily fight to keep our family together, or had I already moved on for good? The Bahamas were a dream, golden beaches, turquoise waves, and Alice's laughter filling the air. We stayed in a 5-star resort, sipping cocktails by the pool and dancing under the stars. Every moment with Alice felt like a fresh start. Her warmth and honesty washed away the bitterness of Emily's betrayal. One night, as we watched the sunset, she took my hand. "James, you're not like anyone I've met," she said. "You're rebuilding your life." "That's inspiring." I smiled. "You're making it a lot easier." We grew closer, sharing stories of our pasts and dreams for the future. I told her about Aiden and Sophie, how I wanted to protect them from Emily's choices. Alice listened, her eyes soft with understanding. By the time we boarded the plane back to Seattle, I knew I was falling for her. Back home, my side of the duplex was nearly done. The new kitchen gleamed and the kids' rooms were ready. I called Aiden and Sophie every night from the Bahamas, and they were excited about the pool I'd promised. But I knew Emily would be waiting to confront me. Tuesday morning, I dropped Alice off at her apartment. She kissed me deeply at her door. "Call me tonight, James. I need to hear your voice." "Deal?" I said, grinning. "This isn't over." Driving home, I saw Emily's car in her driveway. I parked on my side, avoiding her. But she knocked on my door within minutes. "James, can we talk?" she asked, her voice shaky. I stepped outside, keeping her off my side. "What's there to say?" Her blue dress was gone, replaced by jeans and a tired expression. "I love you, James. It was a mistake. One night with Zach doesn't change how I feel." I crossed my arms. "If Zach asked you to stay, would you be here right now?" She hesitated, her eyes dropping. That was my answer. "You chose him over me, over our family," I said. "You don't get to walk back and like nothing happened." "I came back to you," she pleaded. "I love you." "Love doesn't mean what you think it does," I said, my voice steady. "You had years to show me. One night with a basketball star, and I became nothing. Pack a bag, Emily. Stay with your parents for a week. I need space." Her face crumpled, but she nodded and left. I felt a pang of guilt. She was still the mother of my kids, but I couldn't go back. Not after what she'd done. That evening, Aiden and Sophie came to my side of the duplex. Sophie hugged me tightly. "Dad, what's going on with you and Mom?" "Ask her," I said gently. "But know this, you two are my priority. This duplex means you'll always have a home with me." Aiden frowned. "Did Mom do something bad?" I sighed. "She made a choice that hurt us. I'm figuring out how to move forward." They nodded, but I saw the worry in their eyes. I changed the subject, showing them plans for the pool and hot tub. Their smiles returned, but the tension lingered. The next day, I got a call from Tim. "James, we need to talk." Sarah, she was with Zach too. At another club night. I froze. You're kidding. Nope. Found out from a friend who saw them. She admitted it. I'm done with her. I wasn't surprised. Tim and Sarah had laughed when Emily left with Zach. Now their own marriage was crumbling. Karma's real, I said. Sorry, man. Tim sighed. I should have called Emily out that night. Maybe Sarah wouldn't have thought it was okay. I hung up, my mind racing. Emily's friends had enabled her, and now their lives were falling apart too. I felt a strange relief I wasn't alone in this mess. Alice came over that night. We cooked dinner on my side of the duplex, laughing as we fumbled with the new stove. She fit so easily into my life. You're really doing this, she said, gesturing to the duplex. It's bold. It's for me and the kids, I said. Emily can't take that away. She touched my arm. You're a good dad, James. And a good man. I kissed her, feeling hope I hadn't known in years. But as we sat together, my phone buzzed. A text from Sophie. Dad, Mom's crying in her room. She won't talk to us. I stared at the message. Emily was unraveling, but so was I when she left me in that club. Would I let her pain pull me back, or was my future with Alice and the kids worth fighting for? I stared at Sophie's text. Mom's crying in her room. She won't talk to us. My heart ached, but Emily's tears couldn't erase what she'd done. I texted back, give her space. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I turned to Alice, who was watching me with concern. Everything okay? She asked. Emily's struggling, I said. But I can't fix her mistakes. Alice nodded. You're doing the right thing for you and the kids. The next morning, I met Aiden and Sophie at Emily's side of the duplex. They looked uneasy. Aiden spoke first. Dad, Mom told us she messed up. Did she cheat? I took a deep breath. Yeah. She left with someone else at the club. I'm trying to keep things stable for you too. Sophie's eyes welled up. Why'd she do it? Ask her, I said softly. But no, I'm here, always. They hugged me and I felt their trust. I promised pizza night on my side, which got them smiling. As they went to their rooms, Emily appeared, her face pale. James, we need to fix this, she said. For the kids. For the kids, we've got the duplex, I said. You made your choice. I'm making mine. Her voice broke. I love you. It was one stupid night with Zach. One night that broke everything, I said. You hesitated when I asked if you'd have stayed with him. That's not love, Emily. She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. Go to your parents. Figure yourself out. I'm done. She left, tears streaming, but I felt no guilt. I'd spent years putting her first. Now it was my turn. That afternoon, Alice came over. We worked on the duplex, painting the kids' rooms. She laughed as I got paint on my shirt and I pulled her close, kissing her. You're good for me, I said. You're not so bad yourself, she teased. As we finished, my phone buzzed. A message from Tim. Check Sarah's phone. Found texts from Zach. They met up again last week. I called Tim. You serious? Yeah, he said, his voice heavy. She lied about it being one time. I'm filing for divorce. I shook my head. Emily's friends had covered for her, but they were no better. Their group was imploding, and I wasn't surprised. You deserve better, Tim. So do you, he said. I'm sorry we didn't back you up that night. I hung up feeling lighter. Their apologies couldn't undo the past, but they confirmed I was right to walk away. That evening, I took Aiden, Sophie, and Alice for pizza. The kids warmed to Alice, joking about her terrible pizza-cutting skills. Sophie whispered to me she's cool, Dad. I grinned. Yeah, she is. But the next day brought a shock. Sophie ran to my side of the duplex, holding Emily's phone. Dad, look at this. A text from Zach glowed on the screen. Miss you. Come to my game this weekend? It was dated yesterday. My stomach twisted. Emily hadn't just slipped up once, she was still in contact with him. I handed the phone back. Show this to your mom. Tell her I know. Sophie nodded, her face hard. Aiden joined her and they marched to Emily's side. I stayed back, letting them handle it. An hour later, they returned, shaken but resolute. Mom admitted it, Aiden said. She's been texting him since the club. She's sorry, Sophie added, but I don't trust her anymore. I hugged them. You don't have to. You've got me and I've got you. That night, Alice stayed over. We talked about the future, maybe a trip with the kids, maybe more. She fit into my life effortlessly, but I wondered if Emily would try to sabotage this. Her texts to Zach proved she hadn't changed. Would she fight for the kids, or would she finally let go? The duplex stood as my fortress, its two doors a symbol of my reclaimed life. Emily's betrayal had fractured her family, but I was building something new. Aiden and Sophie spent most of their time on my side now, their laughter filling the rooms. Alice had become a steady presence, helping Sophie with homework and joking with Aiden about his video games. But Emily's texts to Zach lingered in my mind. She wasn't done causing trouble. A week later, Emily knocked on my door, her eyes red but defiant. "James, we need to talk about the kids," she said. "They're staying with me," I replied. "You broke their trust. They saw your texts to Zach." Her face crumpled. "I ended it with him. I want us to be a family again." "You ended it because you got caught," I said, my voice firm. "You had months to choose us. You chose him." She clutched a familiar object, my wedding ring. "I kept this. It means something, James." I shook my head. "It meant something to me once. Not anymore. Keep it." She left, defeated, and I felt no regret. I'd given her everything: years of love, a home, our kids. She'd thrown it away for a fleeting thrill. The next day, I hired a lawyer to start the divorce. I wanted my side of the duplex and custody of Aiden and Sophie. Emily could keep her half, but I was done sharing a life with her. My lawyer warned she might fight, but I was ready. Alice and I grew closer. She moved in, her warmth transforming the duplex into a home. One evening, Sophie handed me a letter she'd written. "Dad, you're my hero," it read. "Thanks for not giving up on us." I hugged her, tears in my eyes. Aiden joined in, whispering, "Love you, Dad." Their support fueled me. I finished the duplex, adding the pool I'd promised. The kids loved it, splashing with Alice under the summer sun. But trouble wasn't over. Tim called with news: Zach's career is tanking. Some tabloid leaked he's been chasing married women. He's suspended. I wasn't surprised. Zach's arrogance had caught up with him. Tim added, "Sarah's moving out. Our friend group's done." They all backed Emily, and now they're paying for it. I nodded. Sometimes people learn the hard way. That night, I got a call from Emily's mother. "She's a mess, James. She knows she lost you and the kids. She's moving to her sister's in Portland." I felt a twinge of pity but no desire to fix her. "She made her choices," I said. 2 months later, the divorce was finalized. I kept my half of the duplex and primary custody. Emily moved to Portland, visiting the kids every other weekend. They were adjusting, but their trust in her was slow to rebuild. I decided to move on fully. I leased my side of the duplex to a young couple and bought a beachfront condo. The kids loved the ocean view, and Alice decorated it with her vibrant energy. One evening, as we watched the sunset, Aiden nudged me. "Dad, you look happy." I smiled, ruffling his hair. "I am, kid." Sophie grinned. "Alice is awesome. Can we keep her?" Alice laughed, pulling them into a hug. "You're stuck with me." I proposed to Alice that fall on the same beach where we'd watched that sunset. She said yes, her eyes shining. The kids cheered, already calling her family. As for Emily, she wrote me a letter months later. "I'm sorry," it read. "I destroyed what we had. I hope you're happy." I didn't reply. Her apology couldn't undo the pain, but it no longer mattered. I'd found peace. Zach's career never recovered. The tabloid scandal painted him as a homewrecker, and fans turned on him. Tim rebuilt his life, cutting ties with Sarah and their old circle. Emily's friends faced their own fallout: divorces, broken friendships, regret. I stood on my balcony, Alice by my side, the kids playing nearby. The ocean stretched before us, endless and free. I'd lost a marriage but gained a future. Honesty and courage had led me here, and I'd never look back.